afternoon, everybody. What is going on? I am jeffgrantMEDIA, and today's real user review, we're going to be taking a look at the Gootium Canvas Satchel. Gootium did send me this bag for free, but all of the opinions in this video are mine and mine alone. I did not share this content with Gootium prior to publication. They will see this when you do. I say that so often, but it is still a mouthful to try and get out without screwing up. Now, this bag is currently coming at $42.99 USD on Amazon. It is available in camo, khaki, and olive brown. This is a 100% cotton canvas bag. It comes in at roughly 12.6 liters and weighs about 2.1 pounds. And they say this strap, it's about 4 foot long, and I can definitely attest that it is quite long. It is so long that I feel like I have quite a bit of it cinched up here to make it fit the way I want it. Now, as always, we're going to start with the negatives, go into the points of note, and end on the positives so we can end on a positive note. And the very first negative I have for this bag is its lack of grab handle. So when you're trying to grab this thing from across the car seat, you got nothing to grab on here. So what I have to do is kind of just grab the strap, bunch it up, and grab the strap to lift. Now, grabbing the strap is by no means the worst thing in the world, but it is a bit cumbersome and inconvenient. I wish that there was just a little grab handle right here so I can grab and do the cross seat transfer when I'm taking this in the car, or even when I'm picking it up off the ground, off the couch, off the bench, off the shelf, to grab and then throw on my shoulder. So it would just be so much easier to have a grab handle right here than to have to bunch this up and then pick it up and then have to kind of grab the strap to sling over my body. I would just really like to see a grab handle at the top of this bag. The next negative has to do with the pocket size, and namely these 3 exterior pockets here. These are a little bit hard to use because they're quite small. Now, there is an interior pocket as well. We'll get into that because, as you can see, this bag is fully loaded out, but we're going to talk about these exterior pockets, and you can see right now I don't have anything in them. It's because this one itself is kind of tight to the bag once you kind of load it out, and I feel like it's a little bit shallow. But these 2 side pockets, they have magnetic closures, but they're pretty small and you can't really fit anything in there. So honestly, the only thing I have been using this for is to slide my work ID in at the end of the day. It actually fits pretty perfect because this is a long, thin, flat work ID. I slide that in, and then I can grab it. I can actually secure my little magnet button, and then it's in there. It's nice, it's safe, I know where it is. I can pop it open, I can grab the pull tab, slide my ID out when I get to work the next day. So it is actually pretty perfect for a work ID, but honestly that's about the only thing that I could fit inside these 2 side exterior pockets. I did try to stick my first aid kit in this back pocket, but because it's too shallow, the first aid kit wouldn't fit, and it's just a little bit bulky because my first aid kit is packed out with lots of princess and lots of Disney themed band-aids, so my boo-boo kit's a little thick right now. But there is also this one interior pocket that I wanted to talk about that is a little thin that I'm currently not using because it's just so thin. Right here across the front of the bag there's these 2 liner pockets, and this one, even this pretty thin tablet, I mean, here's the size of my hand, it's not a very thick tablet, about 4 fingers thick, it doesn't even fit inside this pocket here. So the pocket, one of the 2 liner pockets on the front here, it's basically unusable. I can't really do anything with it. I would have rather seen this have like pen slots sewn into it, so at least I could have used it to organize some pens and Sharpies, but ultimately it's just far too narrow to get anything in. I couldn't fit any of my green room 1 through 6 pouches, the sardine tin, the tuna tin, the pocketbook book slim, they're all about the same width. Can't fit any of those in there. I couldn't fit my boo-boo kit in there, which honestly, I don't even know where my boo-boo kit is now. Oh no, where did I stick it? I haven't needed it in the past couple days. There you go, flat pocket. But even this didn't fit in any of those outside pockets or that one interior pocket, so I had to throw it in the lid zipper pocket. So it has like 4 pockets that you can't really do too much with. So that's really the negatives I had. Now we're gonna move into the points of note, and one of them is a similar thing that I had to the canvas rucksack, and that is the bag had a weird odor to it. Now, a lot of bags, mostly I think I talked about this in my real user review of the rucksack, it's mainly with like when I get like leather jackets, when you get like foreign made leather jackets from like a lot of times from when I get them from India, the chemicals that they use to dye the leather over there, it just has this very strong chemically smell. You know, once you take it out of the bag, you know, it airs out pretty quickly. And the same thing with this, you know, it had a fairly strong smell just like the rucksack did, but I mean, if I really get in there, I can still smell it just a little bit. And I've been using this bag for a couple weeks now, and it's been out of the plastic bag for, I don't know, well over a month at this point. But it did have a very strong odor when I first took it out of the sack, or the bag, but the satchel did definitely air out fairly quickly. I'd say within a day or two it was fine. It wasn't making me sick at all. It was just definitely a little bit stronger of a scent than I've had with any other bags. Again, more like when I've gotten some leather jackets to check out, mostly from India. I believe it's probably just the chemicals that they use over there to stain the leather and to treat the leather. This had a very similar smell to that. So there's one of your points of note. My other point of note is there is no laptop sleeve inside this bag. They do say that this could fit a 15.6-inch laptop, but as you can see, there is no laptop sleeve. I do have my tablet in here unprotected, not in the sleeve. So I did not test this with my laptop because I generally carry my laptop in a padded laptop sleeve inside a backpack, but they say that this could fit, so I would say if you are going to use this with the laptop that would fit, definitely put your laptop inside some sort of padded sleeve, unlike what I do with my tablet here, just because when you're putting electronics inside a bag, especially a canvas bag with absolutely no padding, this is just a 100% cotton canvas bag, you want to have them protected, especially if you have like a MacBook Pro, because those things can cost you literally an organ, so you definitely want to make sure that's protected. So I would say if you're going to use a laptop in this bag, put it inside a padded sleeve, and then put it inside your bag so you don't get that big ding that I just did with my tablet. And the next point of note kind of goes along with the electronics, and that is the lid. So this lid does have a zipper. There's a pocket. I do have a few things in here. I have a beer koozie, I don't use AirPods, but my Bluetooth earbuds, and then my boo-boo kit. That's all I keep in here. These things are very, very light. I mean, this is foam. This is just a neoprene case that I made. It literally has my earbuds and the charger for my Kindle, and then this is a boo-boo kit that is predominantly Band-Aids. So these are the things that I will keep inside this lid. But one point of note, and I've noticed this in the past, and this isn't just the Gootium Canvas Satchel, this is any like canvas bag or any lighter material sling bags like this that have a lid pocket. When you put something in the lid, you want to make sure you don't put something too heavy in here, because when you swing this thing back down, it could be like a mace coming down. So if you have electronics inside the bag and you have something heavy in here, it's going to swing and potentially crash and maybe crack a screen if you have electronics in here, if you put something too heavy in the lid of the bag. So just be cautious and put your lighter quick access items in the lid pocket, and then you won't have an issue. Okay, so there are my negatives, my points of note. And now we're going to go into the positives of the bag. And the very first one is I like this simple look. This does have a very military look to it. This is the olive brown colorway. They're not calling it olive drab, which is essentially like an olive and a brown mix, but it's definitely a little bit more brown than like a regular OD green that you'd see like in like the US military, but it does have a very militaristic look to it. Now, in another life, I worked at an Army Navy store for like 15 years or something like that, so I sold a lot of olive green bags, which is why I have an affinity for olive colorways, but this does take me back to some of the military surplus bags that I sold over the years. So I like the look of this bag quite a bit. Again, it probably goes back to I spent a lot of time working at and looking at military bags, surplus bags, recreation bags. So this looks a lot like things that I sold and spent a lot of time handling in another lifetime. So I really like this simple, the look of the bag, and I like this olive brown colorway quite a bit because, again, it brings me back to a younger day. So I like the overall simple design. Now, another positive is if you're tall, you have a lot of adjustability in this strap. They're saying 4 feet. I didn't quite measure it, but I'm going to go ahead and say it's probably close to 4 foot, if not right on at 4 foot. This strap is very, very long, so you have a lot of adjustability in it. So if you're tall, you definitely can still rock this bag because it's not going to be like up underneath your armpit, which sometimes that's kind of what it looks like and feels like if you're too tall and you have a shoulder sling bag, because a lot of times these straps are not long enough. And the next positive is this bag can fit quite a bit of stuff to it. This is what, 12.6 liters roughly, and I have my entire EDC in this bag. And this EDC comes in I put this in a 30-liter pack. I can fit this in like a 15-liter rucker, and this is probably the smallest bag that I fit this entire EDC in, and everything fit. Now it does look full. You can definitely tell that this bag is full, but everything fits, and it's not terribly uncomfortable to wear because it is a canvas bag. There is no padding on the back, and things could, because again it's canvas, there's not a lot of structure to it either. It's not holding everything in place unless it's fully packed out. So things can shift a little bit, and sometimes if I put the tablet in the back, that'll kind of poke out, maybe hit me in the riblets a little bit, but other than that, it's actually quite comfortable to wear, and I still have a little place to strap my hero clip to the side. Going over the pockets of the bag, we have the one on the lid here, zipper closure for the main compartment. We have two pockets on the front where I have tote bag. You never know when you got to carry a little extra bulk. Toolkit, I'm keeping this a little bit separate because, you know, it's a little bit heavier. I thought I saw something else in there, I do not. Outside pocket, only thing is my work ID in there. And then once we go to the interior, across the back of the bag here, we have a zipper pocket, which I've been using as like my admin pocket. I have things like, you know, cortisone for my eczema when that flares up, pens, pencils. I have my my pocketbook slim that has like business cards and stuff in it. So all that goes into this front zipper pocket here. And then across the front of the bag, we have our two other liner pockets. The one of which I talked about in my negative, that's too small. I don't actually have anything in this one at all. And then the other one is much larger. This is where I have a little notebook. I have my tuna tin, and that's all I had. I thought I had something else in there. So I have all those things kind of crammed up in there. And then in the main body of the bag, I had all of this other stuff that I normally have inside my larger EDCs. It all fit just fine. And if I want, I could throw my phone in there as well. And all of this stuff fits inside the main body of the bag pretty well and organized. So all in, final summation, do I think the Gootium Canvas Satchel is worth it for your $42.99? And honestly, yeah, it's a pretty decent little bag for the price point. It's got a few flaws. I would definitely like to see the pockets a little bit bigger and add that grab handle to it. The pockets could be a deal breaker to some, because, you know, why would you have basically 4 pockets that you really can't use? Yeah, I don't really want a pocket for show, but the functionality of the bag for $42.99, and oftentimes there's like a 5% discount if you click on Amazon. You know, just check when purchasing. I've seen it pop up and go away, so there might even be a little bit of a discount on the bag. It's definitely worth like 40 bucks. So I definitely think it's on point for its price point. You know, it's got a couple of flaws to it, but let's be honest, not anything's perfect. Everything's got a couple of flaws to it. Nothing is a huge deal breaker. Yes, I would love to see a grab handle, and yes, I would love to see the pockets a little bit bigger, but ultimately the bag functioned really well for me. It's been holding up pretty good. It's been fairly comfortable to wear. I mean, it's a canvas bag, so keep that in mind, that things will shift inside the bag. So if you put something with a pointy edge on it and you set the bag down, pick it up a couple of times, things will shift. It might poke you in the ribs. So, you know, just be cognizant of the way you pack the bag, and you won't have any of those issues. But that has nothing to do with the Gootium Canvas Satchel. That is with all like canvas bags. You know, if there's not a lot of structure to the bag, you set it down, you pick it up, you set it down, you pick it up, things are gonna shift inside, so you might catch a corner of something sharp if you're not paying attention to the way you're packing the bag. But all in all, yeah, I think it's a fairly decent buy. I think it's right on point for its price point. You know, the quality seems to be pretty good. This is the second product that I've used from Gootium. I've used the canvas rucksack as well as the canvas satchel. Both are the same colorway. I like the color. So they definitely have a military apocalyptic vibe to them. But yeah, I think if you were thinking about giving it a shot, yeah, I think it might work out for you. It's not a huge investment, and it's right on. I think it's right on point for its price point for what it is. You know, maybe in a future Gootium, if you check this out, I would say make these pockets a little bit maybe give them a little bit more dimension, because you can see it's sewn against the bag here, and then there is a little bit of dimension at the bottom, so maybe give this whole thing a pleat and remove this rivet and give the bag the pocket a little bit of room to expand. And then you'd be able to use these pockets more than just a work ID. And then that internal pocket, honestly, there is enough room in the larger one that if they just split the difference, they'd both be totally usable pockets. But all in all, yeah, I think it's an okay bag. I'm not going to say it's a great bag. I'm not going to say it's an amazing bag. I'm going to say it's an okay bag. It worked out pretty well for me. I like the look of the bag. It has a good aesthetic to it. And it worked out well. It actually carries quite well for being a 12.6 liter bag. It fits a lot of stuff in it. So I think that might be a little bit underrated. I'd say this might be closer to a 15 liter pack than 12.6. So, and that's just using the main body. Again, I'm not using some of these exterior pockets, so even if they are factoring those into the liters of the bag, I'm not using them for my carry, so I feel like this is definitely carrying closer to a 15 liter bag than a 12.5 liter bag. So there you have it. If you like this video or any of my other videos, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Smash that big red button and ring that bell right next to it so you get notifications next time I post a brand new video. Good night. Getting serious Indiana Jones vibes with this bag. All I need is the Stetson hat and a pair of boots.